Hello, welcome back to our channel, Sunshine and Country viewers. If you're new, please like and subscribe. If you like our content, we would greatly appreciate it. Today's topic, since it's raining, we're going to do a couple of indoor projects. One of those for this video is repairing or trying to repair an elevated dog bed here. So you can see this is if you have one of these types here and the end breaks off, especially the plastic insert, we're going to try to repair this. Brace it together. So basically what happened was this bolt might have gotten loose over time, even though we put blue Loctite on it. Please make sure you check your bolts periodically even with that, and reapply it if necessary, so that there's no wiggle. So what we think happened was, when our German Shepherd is very large, about almost 100 pounds, with this being loose, getting off and on it eventually snapped this plastic insert. So now it's no longer functional. So we're going to try to repair this with as inexpensively as possible, without having to buy an entirely new bed. So what our idea is, we bought a piece of aluminum stick here, which we will use for other projects. So it's not just for this project. Just a regular piece of aluminum stick you can buy at any hardware store here. We bought this one at Lowe's, and just used some screws. We'll have to drill a hole with this one. This one isn't self-tapping, so we'll drill a hole, tighten it in. These screws are just to be to hold it in place while we put the bolts through it. So our idea is to cut a small piece of it, put the screws in place so that it will hold itself onto the metal while we drill holes through it and the metal, so that we can put these bolts through it along with the nylon lock nut. And the idea is to put the piece of metal from here, of this, all the way across underneath here, so that it will mend it together, and the aluminum should be sturdy enough where it will hold it in place without snapping or bending, as long as it's all the way across there. So we'll have to remove this bolt so that we can drill a hole through it on the top side through to the bottom side onto the aluminum piece here, and go under, and then we'll drill through here as well. So we're going to try that out, show you when it's done, and follow up maybe several weeks later to see how it holds up. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, we've got our stick cut to the length we want it. We really didn't need this long. We went ahead and cut it this long so that we can put 2 set screws in place to keep the aluminum stick from moving around on the main bar here, the 2 main bars, so that we can drill straight through here and here for our main bolts to go through to hold it together. So that's the reason why we went a little bit longer, so we have 2 set screws to hold it in place while we're drilling the bigger holes here. See how it works out. We went ahead and also filed down the edges, the corners, and also the edges. Sorry for the focus there. And the edges to where it's not a sharp edge or sharp corner as well, just in case. Even though the dogs will not be under the bed technically, we went ahead and filed it down as well. So easy to cut, hacksaw it. Use a drill bit to drill your pilot holes, and then just put your screws through it. Even if you use a self-tapping screw, it's easier to just use the drill bits. Do 2 smaller holes, put your self-tapping in, and put it in. I did find 2 self-tapping, so I can use those just to hold in place. Once it's done, once the bolts are in, these could be removed, or you can just leave them in place. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. So we'll be back, see how it works. Okay, so we are progressing here. We've now put our 2 smaller drill holes here and here. We had to make sure this was centered with the other bolt hole on the side. Make sure this drill hole is centered so that it's in the same spot when you put your bolt through it. When you get that done, all you gotta do is drill through here, and then drill through here next, and then drill through here straight all the way through here. But you're going to go all the way through the tube at that point. So we started out with a 3/16, and we're going to finish it up with a 5/16. You could go ahead and do a 5/16 all at once, but this creates a kind of a pilot hole, make it easier to drill the bigger hole. We're using a 1/4 by 1.5 inch bolt here. You can get anywhere, and then just finishing it up, tightening it up with a nylon lock nut underneath. You can use that or a regular nut with a lock washer, either way it goes. I just found it, went ahead and got the nylon nut so that it'll stay in place. All right, we'll show you what it looks like when we get fully done. All right, we are completed and done with our dog bed repair here where it broke off, as we mentioned earlier. So what we did find out, or I found out, was that I also had to add a top piece of aluminum over the top end, so that it will be strong enough to where the legs will not bend. If you just had the bottom piece, the leg can still bend this way, because aluminum, even though it's pretty thick here, it will still allow it to bend eventually over time. So this top piece gives it that extra bracing it needs with the 2 bolts through it, and now it'll be really difficult to bend it. It'll be stronger than the plastic insert that comes with these dog beds, that's for sure. So I hope that helps you out. Basically pretty simple repair. 2 aluminum strips, just cut the piece, cut the size how you need it. You can put it in a bench vise if you need to drill the holes, but in this case I had to also drill through the tube, so I had to add these set screws. So just adding those, drilling straight through this piece and then through here as well. And then you could eventually take this off, clamp both pieces together in a bench vise if you wanted to drill through the rest of the other piece to make it the same. So I just took for me, I just took a piece, put it on top of here, put a Sharpie mark on it, drilled through it, and then flipped it around the other way and did another Sharpie mark, drilled through it, and it worked out fine. However you want to do it, it doesn't take that much time, so it's just a little bit of elbow grease and you've saved yourself having to buy a new dog bed. Alright, hope that helps you out, and we still have extra material if something else happens, like to one of the other corners, if that breaks too, but we're going to be using that to do another project later. Alright, have a good one, have a sunshiny day. Okay, we're at about a month after the repair that we did on this dog bed, and so far it looked like it's holding up really well. The leg is slightly bent in a little bit, but it's not where you can't use it at all, and it's not bending anymore. So even with our heavy shepherds, this repair has held up quite well. So what I did is I left that set screw that I showed earlier in here so that it doesn't allow this bottom one to twist sideways. And I also, too much, and then I didn't do that for the top. You see it shifted a little bit more than the bottom. So hindsight, I could have made this a little longer and put a set screw in it. I could still put a set screw in it here. There's just enough space. But I'm going to leave it as is right now and see how it does. But just letting you know, when the repair is holding up really well, even with our big heavy dogs. And yes, we do have replacement covers whenever these totally wear out. So there's not much you can do if the dog decides to chew on it a little bit. Over time they do that, but they do have replacement covers for these. The main part is keeping these frames repaired and up to par so that you can continue to use the dog bed. I hope that helps out. Have a good sunshiny day. Bye-bye.